Summer has finally arrived in August. Okay? Internet, my name is Peridiam, and if, after All-Stars 2, you've had enough returning players for 1 decade, well, give it a second chance?
It's a house like no other, where 53 cameras follow your every move. This is the Big Brother house. And tonight, which 4 of these Big Brother legends will be back in the house? And how will they change the game? It all starts tonight on Big Brother.
Nailed it. Look, if I'm being honest, I'm okay with newbie seasons for a few more years. But I also think there's more out there in the BB universe than what we got with BB22. And I'm not talking about bringing back 4 players to be coaches or captains. I'm not talking about dynamic duos or fans versus favorites. And no, I am not bringing Paul back for a 3rd time as the lone vet. I am suggesting we try Big Brother Second Chance, where I have drafted 20 one-time players in the BB world who didn't win, only played once, and I think would have some appeal for the audience and the producers to consider. I also tried to include as many seasons as I could to be represented, and I also tried to be realistic. Do I think they'd pick up the call? Let's find out. Okay, so on that note, probably the least realistic person to return of all 20 people that I have here, I think is going to be my first pick. It is Nicole from Big Brother 2. The other half to Dr. Will's tyrannical reign that season, Nicole was the villain I needed to kickstart my BB binge way back in season 2. And although she was tortured to Kingdom Come via the Mad Doctor and probably wouldn't return if asked, I am still throwing her hat in the ring. If Kelly Wigglesworth can do it after 30 seasons, why not Nicole? And then another classic old school player that recently emerged a few years ago to get back into the BB world. It's Jason from Big Brother 3. The other half of Danielle's secret duo that ran the entire season, Jason is a player who appears innocent as a dove on the outside, but is sly as a snake beneath the surface. I think he would absolutely kill it on Modern BB, and I think this season would be a perfect fit for him. From Big Brother 5, I have Marvin, the man who originally came up with a 6-finger plan to backdoor Jace. Although yes, Mike pitched a very rough draft of it in week 1. Marvin is a larger-than-life character with a decent game sense to boot, and he makes Big Brother 5 all the better. I can't imagine he wouldn't do the same the second time around, assuming he'd still be interested after all these years. Now, jumping up a few seasons from Big Brother 8, I have included Eric, America's player, who barely even got a chance to play one time, so maybe he'll be the guy going into the season with the most to prove. Wait, is Eric the BB22 David of this season? A sentence I never thought I'd say, but Eric played this season quite well for someone who had one arm tied behind his back at all times. I think there is tremendous potential here. And then I get players like Sheila from Big Brother 9, who I don't know what to expect if she got a second chance, but hey, she's a wild card on the cast, and I want her back. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind. She would be a force to be reckoned with if she isn't the first boot. Almost already happened before. And maybe this time she won't have to deal with a dumb duos twist right away. But I don't think Sheila would be the first boot, if only because she would be working with this woman, Libra, from Big Brother 10. A player who brought a ton of life to her season and would easily do so again. There's a reason Libra was targeted ahead of Dan, Memphis, Rennie, or Keisha. She's got game sense, she's got personality, and isn't that what we want from our all-stars? Of course, we then add Russell from Big Brother 11, the guy who was a walking tornado through the house. Didn't mind getting in people's faces, and yet also had a decent knack for strategy when it came down to crunch time. He was foolishly betrayed at the last second, and while I wouldn't really know what to expect of him with a second chance after all these years, I gotta think he'd make for great TV, likely as a villain, which I'm here for. Now, Big Brother 13 is gonna have a doubleheader. 2 players are entering the fray. They're on the ballot for the first time in my second chance cast. I have 2 newbies coming back as vets. Give me Shelly and Kalia back one more time, because they're both very underrated. They both played hard despite not always giving off that perception. And in another timeline, I could have seen either of them win the game this season. And I couldn't decide between the 2 of them, so I figure, you know what? let's just give them both a spot. And now we're going to Big Brother 14, and I only had one name on my mind, and that is the ever so tragic Jody, who was evicted only a few hours into her stay in the house. Because night one boots are frankly terrible, because she deserved better, because she's a super fan and she really wanted to be there, and now she actually will get a chance. And no, because I'm creating this season, I am not going to be having night one boots. Maybe night two, we'll see. But yeah, hashtag justice for Jody. Through 14 seasons, that is half the cast of my Big Brother Second Chance fantasy. But really what that just means is that we've got another 10 names to talk about, so let's keep going. And before we get to the HD era of the show, let's pick one player up for the road from Big Brother 15. I want Helen back from this cast to show me just how good she was all over again. Because after that totally unforced error on the wall where she definitely wasn't pushed but instead fell on her own volition, it happens, whoops. We all fall down sometimes, but it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Which, in this case, is one. Just one more time. And now we are in beautiful HD, and you know whose beard looks ever so magnificent? It's Donnie's beard. I want Donnie from Big Brother 16 back one more time. I know he sometimes posts lovely messages on Twitter, on social media to give life updates, and he looks to be living his best life. And while I would kinda hate to drag him back to LA again to suffer all over for us, I say, why not let him give us a chance to fall in love with his persona all over again? I just want to throw money at Donnie. Can I do that? He isn't what we deserve, but he's definitely what we need. Although I think the most top of mind second chance player that everyone is going to expect me to include, and I will, because here we go. I have Vanessa from Big Brother 17 on this cast, and really, if nothing else, this season is just another excuse to pitch why Vanessa should come back to play one more time. I do fear for her threat level. I think she's in a lot of hot water out of the gate, and I don't know what to expect again because she kind of feels like she may be a flash in the pan given her style of play, but then here we are. BB second chance. Let's find out. I debated whether Battlebacks would exclude someone from getting a second chance, you know, because they already returned in a single season, but I decided that's being a little pedantic and annoying, so instead I've got Victor on my second chance cast. Because he's a comp beast, he's the comp beast of this cast, well, except for one other, and I think we need that ingredient here to round us out a bit. Plus, he's now got the backing of Nicole Franzel, so yeah, who knows where that's gonna take us. From Big Brother 20, I have decided to include the man who had ice in his veins, who didn't care about burning bridges to make good TV, who played double agent again and again on Rockstar's daughter's birthday no less. I have Brett getting a second chance. Look, I'll reason with you, he may not be Mike Tyson, but he's gonna make good TV whether we like it or not. He was cheeky, he was sly, he got away with so much this season, and I need to know what else he can do. I kinda figured it's either him or Zach Rance from BB16, and I decided to go with him, although if you would rather Zach Attack come back, I don't blame you. From BB21, yes, we are going there. I gotta bring back the woman who couldn't stop thinking of ways she was gonna get blindsided, who entered the game with a secret relationship, who can always look at Tommy and see home. Yeah, put Christy on this cast. And here's my logic. It's the summer, it is sweltering hot, and it's gonna be a damn hot mess in that house, and why not throw a little Christy on top? Day 44. Taco Tuesday, second chance first boot, why not? And if you're doing the math, that means we have 4 spots for 2 seasons. So I've got 2 players from BB23 and 2 from BB24. From BB23, give me the duo that almost was, but kinda wasn't, but then also kinda was at times. I want Tiffany and Derek back on my screen. Sorry, I should specify, I want Derek X. DX. The young lad who didn't know what he was getting into when he first showed up, but learned a lot along the way, and then went on to crush The Amazing Race not long after. This was an easy pick, and his 2-season story arc basically has to have him return. And then as for Tiff, I mean, come on. The master plan of it all. We've got good TV with this group, and Tiff is a lock to return. Heck, she may already be a lock, regardless of whatever fantasy casts I put together. So for BB24, we have 2 names left. And if you're still doing the math, you might realize it's gonna be 2 guys. So I am easily pulling from the Leftovers Alliance, the alliance that seized the throne of the season, and that means I am having both Michael and Joseph get a second chance to play Big Brother. Because Joseph is frenetic and low-key kinda robbed of a better edit, and I know he's gonna be hungry for a better performance after what happened at Direfest. Ugh, Direfest, don't remind me. And then Michael, because he tied Janelle's single season record. He's the comp beast. You wouldn't expect it, but that's part of the magic. He's also really strategic, which you might expect, yet he's still underestimated, and I want to see if he repeats his first performance. Just shatter those old-time records, man. And so, wow, yeah, okay, that's a lot of stuff going on in this one video. 21-time Big Brother players across the board to potentially compete for a second chance. Kind of like All-Stars 1 mixed with Survivor Second Chance, we have a ballot of 20 potential house guests where roughly 14 to 16 of them will actually get in. So which 4 to 6 get cut? Or maybe we just I don't know, supersize this season? I mean, we got a lot of time on our hands, right? Just go until New Year's and put all 20 of them in one house. What's the bed situation like? Are we finally busting out the army cots again? Don't tease me with a good time, Grodner. Either way, let me know what you think about this group and of any players that you want to see back for a second shot. A huge thanks to my patrons for returning for years. It's generational at this point. Seriously, thank you all. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to get out and vote for who you want to see back on your way out. And I will see you in the next one once I manifest this season into existence. Does anyone have Allison Grodner's number by any chance?
It's time to reveal the top 4 women America voted back into the Big Brother house. Erica.
I said, hold on, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.